Happy New Year, one and all. Yes, Happy New Yar. Yar, I be a pirate, matey. Goldie Roger here, wishing you all a happy 2023. Maybe we'll find out the One Piece, matey. Arr. Actually, way back in the day, wasn't year pronounced as Yar? We should bring that back. We'll bring that back in 2023. Okay, from this moment on until December 31st of 2023, I will pronounce the word year as Yar. And you could hold me to that. All right, Happy New Year, everybody. Yes, okay. So, 2023, yeah, we're here. Honestly, I thought I would be like a rocket engineer at NASA at this point. Like, you know, here I am still talking about fictional pirates, so, you know, I guess I'll just keep going with that, you know, whatever, all right. I'm going to be 30 this year. That's got to come to terms with that. I'm going to be 30 in April of this year. Let's take a look back at the decades of my life here. All right, so 1993, I was around, but I got to be honest with you, it was a little bit hazy. You know, I remember just glimpses of watching Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and hearing some Vanilla Ice on the radio. That was pretty much all I remember from 1993. 2003, though, was peak, okay? We had the most advanced Pokemon games ever released. Personally, I'm a fan of Gen 2, but when Gen 3, Ruby and Sapphire came out, you could see your reflection in the water. Okay? Listen to me. I know we have all these advanced video game consoles and everything like PS5s and all that kind of stuff, but I need you to understand, if you weren't around in 2003, how insane it was that you could see your reflection in the water like it was real life or something. That was insane. Also, the Video Now came out, which was the best media player of all time. 2013, all right, that was an all right year. I got my associate's degree from a community college, which I can use for... yeah, pretty much. Here's 2023, making YouTube videos about pirates, and I'm talking to a brick. Okay, well, last chapter of One Piece, chapter 1071, we had a lot of crazy stuff going on, okay? But push all of that aside, because at the end of the chapter, we have Garp making a move. That's right, Monkey D. Garp is tired of sitting around and just munching on rice crackers. No, he's gonna roll some heads. He's like, all right, Koby's been kidnapped by Blackbeard, one of the Yonko. All right, is anyone going after him? No. Gotta clear it with the higher-ups? All right, hold on. Let me finish this bag. All right, it's pretty good. All right, get my ship. We're gonna go rescue Koby. All right, and yeah, that's where we're at right now. And okay, before I even get into the discussion on where this could go, I have to address something. There were a decent number of comments in the review that were basically like, oh no, I'm worried about Garp. Oh my god, guys, Garp. You know, I thought Shanks was going to get killed by Blackbeard, but it looks like Garp is going to be killed by Blackbeard instead. Oh my god. And I'm just sitting there like, do you guys not know who Monkey D. Garp is? I mean, maybe you legitimately don't, and that's okay. You know, One Piece has like 1,000+ chapters at this point. You can't really follow everything at all times, and you might be new to the story, okay? But do you understand the sheer, raw, primal power that is Monkey D. Garp? Blackbeard's gonna kill him? My god, nothing can kill Garp. Death is literally a member of his crew. Quite literally. In case you don't know the roster of Garp's crew that he always travels around with, we have Monkey D. Garp. That's really all you need, but he has, you know, he gets lonely, so he needs to have a crew with him, okay? So we have Bogart, who's his right-hand man. I just did a video talking about him the other day, based off of Humphrey Bogart, you know, classical Hollywood actor, okay? In fact, it might have actually been Humphrey Bogart. Maybe he got isekai'd into the One Piece world. Who knows? But some other big names on Garp's crew that you may or may not be aware of, Chuck Norris, Alexander the Great, Genghis Khan, Avatar Kyoshi, Oda Nobunaga, Death himself, I previously mentioned. That's right, Death literally takes orders from Garp. No one in the One Piece world is allowed to die until Garp gives permission for Death to reap their souls. And I know you might be saying about that, is like, well, how did Ace die then? Ace was at Marineford, Garp was right there. You mean to tell me Garp wanted Ace to die? No. Ace was killed. That doesn't mean he's dead. His zombified corpse is still a member of Garp's crew, traveling around with them. Yeah, so with a roster like that, you really think that Garp's gonna roll up and then Blackbeard's gonna be like, "Zay ha ha ha, I'll kill you, Garp." and then he just falls down. No way, man. Okay. So let's just cover that right now. Blackbeard versus Shanks. Maybe Shanks might die from that battle. Not really sure. Garp versus Blackbeard. Blackbeard is wasted. He's done, okay? Now, we're probably going to have to spin the story in a way where Garp, doesn't actually kill Blackbeard like he totally should have at Marineford. Like, for example, Blackbeard was there. Garp and Sengoku were attacking him, but he still managed to get away. Blackbeard's, he's weaselly, okay? He'll manage to get away somehow because we have to have the final battle between Blackbeard and Luffy. I mean, that has to happen. But Garp is going to lay waste to Hachinosu. There is not going to be a Hachinosu, okay? Garp is the closest equivalent to a nuclear bomb in the One Piece world, and I'm including the giant sky laser that Eam used, okay? Garp is even more deadly than that, all right? Okay, so, all right. Maybe dial back the hyperbole a little bit, or maybe not. It's Garp. He's finally doing stuff here, all right? Like, seriously, you could argue, hey, Garp is in his late 70s. He's getting up there. Even Rayleigh admitted that Rayleigh might have not been able to deal with Blackbeard, okay? Because Rayleigh is, I think actually Garp and Rayleigh are the same age. I think Rayleigh's definitely 78 years old, and I think Garp is 78 as well. I think he was 76, and then, 78 after the time skip. So I think they're the same age. So you might be thinking, like, hey, if Rayleigh wasn't sure if he could take down Blackbeard, what about Garp? Okay, well, okay. Couple of things you got to understand there. Yeah, Rayleigh, he might still be in really good shape. He's got like the 8-pack abs or whatever. He swam across the calm belt, okay? But I imagine that's mostly from just a life of being a really badass pirate, okay? Rayleigh's going to always be strong, all right? Unless he gets afflicted with random old person disease number 72, like with Whitebeard or whatever, okay? Rayleigh spends most of his days drinking and gambling, and he does manage to maintain his physique just through those two activities. He doesn't probably stick to a regimented workout every single day. He's retired, okay? And he's admitted that he's retired. Garp tried to retire, but he kind of couldn't, so he's still a Marine, just kind of doing Marine things, okay? Point is, Garp stays in shape, all right? He works out every single day. He punches icebergs. That's how Garp stays in shape, all right? So I honestly think out of all of the old people that are still around in the One Piece world that are like in their late 70s, we have Rayleigh and Sengoku. Sengoku actually is retired. He's kind of like on vacation most of the time. He's part of the Marines basically because they can't just let him go because he was the former fleet admiral. He knows stuff about the Will of D and stuff. The government is not just going to let Sengoku retire to a nice southern island and just kind of relax the rest of his days. He's always going to be working for the government no matter what, right? Garp officially retired, but he's still called Vice Admiral and he still has a ship because it's Garp and he's the hero and he has like every Marine accolade you could possibly imagine, okay? So, yeah, he's still pretty tough, I would imagine. I would say in terms of raw physical strength, he's stronger than Rayleigh, stronger than Sengoku. I mean, who else? Who other really old guy? I mean, there was Whitebeard, but he died. Zombie Whitebeard's also on his crew, just letting it know. Let's see, who else? I mean, if Roxy Zebek comes back, I mean, that's another thing, but we don't really know the whole situation with him. I mean, controversial judgment call, but I'm going to say Garp is stronger than Wang. I'm going to say when it comes to Garp the Fist and Wang Ji, I'm going to say that Garp is stronger. So, I mean, like, he has a legitimate, like, he could actually take down Blackbeard. Like, I'm not even saying that as exaggeration. If it's a straight-up fight between Garp and Blackbeard, I don't want you guys to be like, oh yeah, Garp's not going to be able to do that. No, Garp could legitimately win. I mean, Blackbeard might be aware of, like, his danger sense might be tingling, and he might be like, I need to get out of here. You know how he was so close to getting his hands on the Love fruit at Amazon Lily, and it seemed like he was winning? Like, he literally had Boa up by the throat, and then all of a sudden, all it took was Rayleigh showing up, and from that alone, Blackbeard was smart enough to realize, all right, yeah, I should probably leave. And then he did, okay? Imagine if Garp rolls up to Hachinosu. So if Blackbeard has any sense of self-preservation, which I do believe he has, he's at Hachinosu, he's got his whole army of his Yonko fleet there, he's got the 10 Titanic captains, whatever. He looks out his window, he sees Garp's ship coming to his island. he should be like, Zeha! All right, we should probably pack up. All right, everybody, this was a nice gig while we had it. We had a nice island. It was shaped like a skull. It was really cool, but looks like we got to find a new home because Garp's coming to town, all right? This isn't going to be like a Moria situation either, all right? He's going to wreck this entire island, all right? With one strong fist, Garp could probably level that entire Skull Mountain to, like, just rubble on the ground, okay? So, anyway. All right, so Garp arrived at G14 to pick up Helmeppo, as well as Hibari. I guess Hibari's going to, which that's great. I guess we'll find out what she's capable of. They both want to save Koby-senpai, and Garp is there, and he's just like, you know, he called Doll ahead of time of just like, you know, oh, hey, Doll, can you spare any Marines? And Doll's like, no. He's like, well, we're going to go attack a Yonko. I love that. By the way, let's just, like, look at that for a moment. The fact that Garp just nonchalantly is like, yeah, let's just roll up to a Yonko fortress and just invade and knock some heads and take Koby and leave. Like, it's like a Sunday afternoon drive to him to, like, the ice cream parlor or something. Like literally, listen to what Prince Groose said. Prince Groose, when Helmeppo and Hibari were begging him, and he's a rear admiral, too. Prince Groose is a rear admiral. He's not, like, some insignificant rank in the Marines that has no, you know, power, or he has his own battleship and everything. Even he was like, no, we're not going to just go stick our heads into the beehive that is Hachinosu, all right? Because that's all pirates. And, yeah, we're Marines, but we could get our asses kicked. It's too dangerous. All right, Garp is like, he's like a bear. You know what I mean? He's just like a big, old, tough grizzly that's just like, all right, gonna go stick our faces into that beehive and just scoop out all the honey. All right. That's Garp. He don't care, all right? Think of just the sheer Jupiter-sized balls that are on this man, all right? Of just like, this is a Yonko. Imagine without any other Yonko, where Garp's just hanging out one day and he's like, you know what? Let's get a group together and just go invade Onigashima and just beat the shit out of Kaido. That's the level that we're talking about here, all right? Okay, so Helmeppo and Hibari are going to join him. We got Bogart, we got Chuck Norris, we got, you know, everybody else on the crew. Okay, great, awesome. Now, they're going to Hachinosu. Right now that we're aware of, Blackbeard is actually not on Hachinosu. Blackbeard is actually on some other random, I think it's called Winter Island or whatever, and that's the place where he's fighting Law. Now, the time frames on this are kind of all over the place, so if you want to say that by the time Garp actually sails to the Hachinosu, Blackbeard will be back, or maybe the fight with Law took place a little bit earlier or later or whatever, who knows. But there's two distinct possibilities here. It's either Garp rolls up to Hachinosu and Blackbeard is there, or Blackbeard is not there, all right? Also, keep in mind that Van Augur, who is with Blackbeard right now fighting Law's crew, has the ability of the Warp Fruit. Now, we don't know the whole limitations of this or anything, but if the Warp Fruit, let's say, gives Augur the ability to transport himself and anybody he wants, maybe to any location that he's previously been to. Maybe it's not complete teleportation. He can just warp anybody anywhere, no matter what. But maybe it's like if he can see it, or maybe if he's been there, maybe he can teleport. So keep that in mind as well. Like, you know, Blackbeard is, you know, fighting Law. Garp arrives at Hachinosu, maybe one of the other 10 Titanic captains, because they're not all with Blackbeard right now. Like, you know, Avalo Pizarro is not with them. You know, Vasco Shot or somebody is still on the island. Katarina Davon. Maybe Katarina Davon, you know, relays a message to Blackbeard or Augur, and it's just like, oh, we have Garp attacking. And so then Augur's like, Captain, we need to go deal with this. That actually might be the way Law survives this. You know, Law is kind of like, they're on the edge of their seat about to be defeated, and then, you know, Blackbeard's about to get his hands on the op fruit when all of a sudden he receives a message that, like, his home base is being attacked. You're a Yonko, Captain. You gotta go deal with this, or we're not gonna have an island anymore. You know, Garp could just level the whole thing, and Blackbeard might be like, Zeha, well, okay. Looks like Garp saved your ass this time, Trafalgar. I'll be back for that fruit. And then Augur transports all of them back to Hachinosu. Could be something like that, all right? So that would actually work really cool. That gives Garp some time to land on the island, and then all the pirates are just like, Marines! And then Garp could just be like, bam, bam, just just wading through, just punching the crap out of just random pirates on the island. Like, oh no, God, it's Garp the Fist. We're so totally screwed. Garp walks out. Yeah, all right. Seems like a good day for some exercise here, right? Not like the other members of Garp's crew even need to do anything. Helmeppo and Hibari are like hiding on the ship, just like, do we need to do anything? I mean, if you want to, you can come on out and knock some heads, but if not, it's all right. I can kind of handle this by myself. Remember, Garp is this man in this picture right here, all right? This is prime Garp. No other arguments need to be made, okay? So, all right, which 10 Titanic captains would be on Hachinosu right now if Garp arrived there? Okay, so we got Avala Pizarro. We still don't know his Devil Fruit ability. Probably has one, because I think Blackbeard confirmed, or at least Law confirmed, every 10 Titanic captain does have a Devil Fruit now. Okay, so Avala Pizarro probably has one, we just don't know what it is. Katarina Devon would be there. She has the ability of the Mythical Zone, the Kitsune, the Nine-Tailed Fox. She has the power to transform into other people. We don't exactly know what this transformation is limited to. I assume because it's a Mythical Zone trait, it's stronger than Mr. 2 Bonclay's Mane Mane no Mi. So maybe when Katarina transforms into somebody, maybe she gets all of their memories. Maybe not their Devil Fruit abilities, but maybe their levels of hockey if they had that or something like that. Who knows? We have Vasco Shot, who we also do not know his Devil Fruit ability. San Juan Wolf would be there. And oh, by the way, I want to see the moment where Garp arrives, beats up some random rabble, and then San Juan just appears behind the Skull Mountain like this looming Gigantamax Pokemon. And he's just like, oh, hey, boy, howdy. Looks like we have an invader here. Okay, then. So he transforms into this giant amongst giants, and then he goes and, like, just brings down this giant fist. It's like the moon, but it's a fist that's just like... And then Garp just looks up and he's just like, oh boy, this takes me back to that time I punched out 37 meteors in one afternoon. Boom! And then he just punches San Juan's fist, breaks every bone in his arm, and he's just like, oh no! And he falls back behind. Maybe he crushes the Skull Mountain in the process. I just want to see Garp one-shot San Juan in his maximum form, okay? Yeah, definitely. Who else? Lafitte. Lafitte would, yeah, he's still on the island. I think the only people with Blackbeard right now are Burgess, Augur, and Doc Q and Stronger. I don't think Lafitte's with them. So Lafitte, he has some ability. He could turn into some kind of bird. A dove, a pigeon. Some people have even thrown out the theory that he has the mythical angel zone, which maybe he does. I don't know. But if you're even getting deities involved in this, I still think Garp can got this. You know, Garp could definitely punch out a biblically accurate angel if he has to. All right? His fist knows no limits, ladies and gentlemen. All right? Garp versus God. I don't know. I don't know. You might have to put some money on Garp on that one. I just don't know, all right? So we got Lafitte, we got San Juan, we got Katarina, we got Avalo, we got Vasco. Shiryu. Yeah, I don't think Shiryu is with Blackbeard right now. If by the way, if I'm wrong on any of this, let me know. But I don't think we saw Shiryu during, you know, the fight with Law. Maybe his identical twin is also on, you know, Hachinosu right now, but who knows? But, yeah, okay, so we have, now this leads to something else, where I mentioned it earlier in the right-hand man video. You know, Garp is not a swordsman. He doesn't need it. He's got his fist. But we have Bogart on Garp's crew, okay? Now, Bogart, we don't know much about that guy, all right? But he fights with a sword, and the fascinating thing I was thinking about was there wasn't really that many admirals that use swords. Now, a lot of people are going to correct me with this by saying that, hey, Fujitora uses a sword and Kizaru uses a sword. I'm like, all right, listen. Kizaru has a light sword. That's just kind of the fact that he has a light sword, all right? I don't think Kizaru is like a skilled swordsman on the level of Mihawk or anything like that. I think Kizaru just kind of likes to use a light sword. You might say, well, he fought against Rayleigh. And like, yeah, but he doesn't count. Fujitora has a sword. Yeah, okay, sure, but he just joined the Marines. I'm talking like the original Admiral lineup, okay? We had, you know, Sengoku as the Fleet Admiral, Kizaru, Akainu, Aokiji. Yeah, Aokiji's the same thing. He could summon a sword, but he's not like on the crazy level with it or anything like that, okay? But then we get, you know, to one rank below admirals, we get to vice admirals. That means that the strongest swordsman in the entire Marines, if you don't want to include the admirals, I mean, maybe it's Fujitora, okay. I guess an argument could be made that that's the case. But, okay, fine. The second strongest swordsman in all of the Marines. I guess Aramaki has a sword too. Okay, fine. Okay, there's a lot of admirals that use swords, all right? Now that I'm thinking about this, sometimes that'll happen where I sit there with a premise like none of the admirals use swords, and I start to think, like, wait a second, crap, quite a few of them actually do use swords. All right, fine, whatever. Disregarding the admirals, who is the strongest vice admiral that uses a sword? You might say Momonga, you might say Stainless. Quite a few of the vice admirals use swords. But Bogart has been the right-hand man to Garp for a number of years. So I'm assuming that Bogart is also a vice admiral. We don't even know his official rank, but I'm assuming he is. And we saw his sword skills were pretty damn adept. He was able to dice up the guns that Koby was waving around, and it wasn't even that big of a deal. That was just like poultry to him. Like, I'm just gonna cut up these guns in perfectly little sections. That was just something that was trivial to Bogart, okay? His true skill in the sword, I mean, we might find out Bogart squares up against Shiryu, and they're fighting and they're clashing, and it might be a thing where Bogart says, disregarding the admirals, I consider myself the strongest swordsman in all of the Marines. That might be the case for Bogart, so I want to see Bogart and Shiryu fighting. Garp just walks right by them and just like, that's my right hand, man. You show him what for, Bogart. Don't get stabbed from behind. And then Bogart's like, okay. Now, the only sad thing there is we don't know that much about Bogart, and so if somebody was going to die during this, exchange, during this incursion, it's probably a pretty good shot that the guy that we really don't know anything about, that's a member of Garp's crew, might end up getting killed. But I'm going to give Bogart a lot of credit here. I'm going to say he's really good at observation hockey. I'm going to say he's really good at armament. I'm going to say he's an expert-level swordsman working directly under Garp for a number of years. So I'm going to say he has a fair shake of squaring off against Shiryu and maybe not defeating him, but not dying in the process, okay? So, like, maybe holding him back for a little while, okay? Let's see, who else? Am I forgetting anybody else on Blackbeard's crew? Aokiji, I guess, because we saw Aokiji during the cover spread with Augur and Aokiji arriving at Cacao Island to kidnap Pudding. I'm assuming that confirmed that Aokiji was the 10th Titanic captain, but he's also maybe a double agent for swords. So I don't think they have to worry about Aokiji attacking Garp, and Garp and Aokiji are on good terms with one another, okay? So it might be a situation where Aokiji pretends to, is like, I won't let you pass, Vice Admiral Garp, and then he just pretends to be defeated and Garp walks through, or Aokiji's just like, by the way, Koby's on the, bottom level floor, room number 7. Like, oh, thanks, Aokiji, I appreciate it. Here, have a rice cracker. I want to see Garp's not even serious. He's just walking through Hachinosu, just, eating rice crackers, just having a stroll, and just beating these strong characters along the way. So, let's say that Blackbeard finally arrives. Maybe he was there already, or maybe he gets back, or maybe he teleports using Augur's ability, whatever, okay? Blackbeard arrives back on the island, all right? So it's Blackbeard with the power of the Yami Yami no Mi and the Gura Gura no Mi, assuming that he doesn't get his hands on the Op fruit, which I don't think that he's going to. I don't think we're going to go that level with it quite yet, where Law's just going to straight up lose his power. Although, if that did happen, I mean, maybe Law could get it back later, because Vegapunk knows all about devil fruits, so maybe we could do a thing where, oh shit, Blackbeard stole the Op fruit, like, legitimately. Like, that would be a game-changing moment in One Piece. But I'm assuming he didn't. He's got Yami Yami and he's got the Gura Gura. The Yami Yami is not going to do much to freaking Garp. Because number one, he doesn't have a devil fruit power, so you can absorb him all. Actually, it'll be the detriment, because, if Blackbeard tries his main, combo of moves that he likes to use is, the Black Vortex, and he, sucks somebody in, grabs them, and then turns off their devil fruit power, and then attacks them with the Gura Gura. That's not going to work with Garp, all right? That's just going to be, okay, Black Vortex. I think, honestly, Garp could just flex his chest muscles and just boom! And then just, resist the gravity pull. But Garp could just get absorbed by Black Vortex and then grabbed, and then he could just be like, hey, thanks for lining up my shot. BAM! Okay. Blackbeard tanks a full power armament hockey fist from Garp point blank. You just see him flexing his bicep of just boosh! and then everything goes slow motion. Blackbeard's life flashes before his eyes. Every moment he ever had. And then just slowly, just like the speed of lights, slowed down. Just. And then Blackbeard's like, shit. How does Blackbeard's skull not get atomized from that? Like, you could say armament hockey all day, every day, till the end of time, and I don't think that has any water there. A full-powered Garp fist to Blackbeard's cranium. It's over. It's gone, all right? Like, no, literally, it's gone. Like, his head is gone, all right? Oh, man. So, let's assume Blackbeard's smart enough to not just drag Garp into, like, punching range, all right? Let's say that, you know, okay, I got to keep him at a distance. Now, this is where the Gura no Mi comes in handy, because it's shockwaves. He could punch the ground. He can open up a fissure. He could summon tsunamis. He could do shockwaves. All the shockwaves in the world aren't going to do anything. He could send out a bunch of shockwaves. Once again, Garp with the chest muscles could just be like, oh, just fight his way through the shockwaves. He gets there, and he just kind of looks down disapprovingly at Blackbeard, and he's just like, those shockwaves ain't shit to what old man Whitebeard was capable of. Boom! Stomach blow! And just like, oh! Every meal Blackbeard ever ate in his entire life just gets puked up at once. Like, everything. Just like, God, alright. So, like, what, I mean, seriously, though, what could Blackbeard do to him? What ability? Okay, Blackbeard has the Gura no Mi. He punches him with a shockwave right to Garp's chest or Garp's stomach. Okay, I don't think that's gonna do shit to Garp. I mean, okay, if we're gonna take away all the ridiculousness from it, if Blackbeard got up close and personal and punched Garp with the Gura no Mi, we'd probably have a moment where Garp would be like, the vibrations would be like, whoa, and then maybe some blood would splurt out of his nose or his eye, or his eyes goes bloodshot or something, and then after that blow, Blackbeard's there like, how do you like the power of the strongest paramecia on the planet? And then Garp just grabs him just like, not bad, kid, not bad, here's mine, you know? Blackbeard is a melee fighter. I mean, honestly, he has the shockwaves, but I don't think the shockwaves from a distance are going to do anything to Garp. He has the Yami no Mi, but that's actually the opposite of fighting from a distance. That's drawing things into him, okay? The black vortex grabs people towards him. He uses the black hole to suck everything around him. I don't think that's going to do anything to Garp. You know, all that stuff is getting them closer to him. So I think the only thing that Blackbeard could really do because every time Blackbeard fights, when he fought against Ace, he used black vortex and then punched Ace. And Ace even admitted that, holy crap, that punch was powerful. He almost broke my neck. So Blackbeard is physically tough, okay? He's a little bit chubby. He's got like the dad bod, but don't overlook that, okay? Blackbeard's still really physically powerful, okay? So he almost broke Ace's neck. Same thing at Impel Down. He dragged Luffy in, he grabbed him, and he punched him, all right? That's how Blackbeard seems to fight. You know, at Marineford, they gunned down Whitebeard because he was already kind of on death's door, so they gunned down Whitebeard to kind of finish him off. Let's see, when he fought against Boa at Amazon Lily, he had to get close and, like, grabbed her. You know what I mean? He's an in-fighter. He's a close-up kind of melee fighter. That's how Blackbeard fights. And if Blackbeard's in range to punch Garp, that means Garp's in range to punch him, okay? Also, Blackbeard's ability, the Yami no Mi, he even admitted, makes him feel pain even worse than the average person. It doesn't mean he's weak. When he got hit by Ace's fire spears, he was on the ground and he's just like, oh, it's so hot, oh God. You know, now after they patted him off and he got the fire extinguished, he was relatively okay. Like, he wasn't in danger of dying or anything. It's just he feels that pain like tenfold because of the nature of the Yami no Mi drawing in everything, okay? So he feels that pain. So if he feels pain worse than a normal human being, even as strong as he is, and Garp lands one punch, that would, like, knock him out immediately. That would, like, you'd be on the ground in so much infuriating, like, impossible levels of pain. His heart would just give out or something. Not really, but, like, what else can he do? I mean, what else does Blackbeard really have? I mean, yeah, he's got 2 really strong devil fruits. One's a Logia, not going to do shit against Garp. He's like an armament hockey master, okay? Garp probably has Conquerors. I don't know if we know that for certain. I don't think it was confirmed he has it, but if he does, I mean, that's not gonna surprise anybody. Shit, man. Like, unless, like, Shiryu finishes off Bogart, and then they do the thing where Shiryu turns invisible and, like, stabs Garp from behind. But also, Garp's an observation hockey specialist. So, I mean, yeah, Shiryu could turn invisible, but, like, Garp should be able to see or hear him coming. Like, invisible doesn't make you, like, completely invisible, unless Shiryu, like, awakened it. And the clear fruit kind of becomes like Meleoron's Nen ability, God's accomplice, and freaking perfect plan from Hunter x Hunter, where it's like it becomes perfectly invisible. You know, you can't see him, you can't hear him, you can't smell him. You know, his cigarette smoke, you can't detect him in any way, shape, or form. He just kind of phases out of existence, and then he stabs you. I mean, maybe if it's something like that, but even then, even if Garp is like fighting Blackbeard and then Shiryu stabs him, I feel like, you know, Garp could just like clench his abs muscles and just, you know, catch what's the name of Shiryu's sword? I think it's Raigo or something. Raiga. It means thunderbolt or lightning bolt or something. And so it's just like, you know, oh my god, my stuck in his abs, you know, and just like I just don't think there's gonna be an easy way to take Garp down. He's Garp, for God's sake, okay? So, yeah, I think this is going to be, I think they're going to rescue Koby is basically the end of this seminar. Whether or not Blackbeard is there or not, I think they're going to rescue Koby. Maybe he doesn't finish off all of the Blackbeard crew, but I definitely think he gives them a black eye, you know what I mean? He gives the crew kind of like, oh man, we got decimated by Garp today. And, you know, if you really want something at the very end, we can have Garp sailing away, and maybe he's bleeding a little bit, and he's just like, ah, damn it. Haven't bled. If it was back in my prime, I could have leveled that entire island with one punch. I'm getting old. And he just like, you know, just like spits some blood on the ground out of his nose or something and just like, yeah, all right. Well, Koby, we saved you. All right, let's go. You know, and that's going to be it right there. Okay, absolutely. Absolutely 100%. I don't see Garp dying at all here. Famous last words. Guess we're going to have to see. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. And now, let's move on to the last installment of Porygon Facts. We got one more, and then we'll move on to the letter Q. Q. What animal starts with the letter Q? Alright, so I thought we would just end it out with some other Pokedex entries for Porygon. This one's come from Ruby and Sapphire. Porygon is capable of reverting itself entirely back to program data and entering cyberspace. This Pokemon is copy protected, so it cannot be duplicated by copying. I love how it has, like, the TM or the trademark. Is Porygon an NFT? Like, that... We might have to have a new evolution for Porygon in the new games. Porygon NFT. Maybe. I don't know. Pokemon Emerald. It is capable of reverting itself entirely back to program data. A Porygon is copy protected, so it cannot be duplicated. That's okay. So Gen 3 is when the copy protection protocol got added, okay? Apparently it didn't work very much, though, because then we get to Porygon Z, who's the next evolution. Oh, man. I guess I should have done Porygon 2 and Porygon Z facts as well on this. Oh, well, I don't know. We're still moving on. Actually, do you want me to move on to the letter Q, or do you want to stay with Porygon Facts? Because we could still move on to Porygon 2 and Porygon Z. We haven't even really done those two yet. So let me know down below. But anyway, Diamond and Pearl, the world's first artificially created Pokemon. It can travel through electronic space, all right? Let's see. Platinum is a man-made Pokemon created using advanced scientific means. Yeah, these are pretty much just repetition. Anything unique? Black and white is the same. X and Y... it is programmed with only basic motion. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else unique. Oh, here's something. Pokemon Sun. Roughly 20 years ago, it was artificially created, utilizing the latest technology of the time. I think that's because Sun and Moon came out right around the 20th year anniversary of Pokemon, right? So around 20 years ago, I think that's why they put that in there. Yeah, let's see. In Ultra Sun, this Pokemon was created using the cutting-edge science of 20 years ago. So many parts of it have become obsolete. Oh, that's sad. And in Ultra Moon, it was built 20 years ago by scientists who dreamed of exploring space. Their dreams have yet to come true. So PORYGON has yet to go to space. But someday, maybe, ladies and gentlemen, maybe someday. All right. Thanks for watching. Let me know on PORYGON facts if we should continue or if we should just move on to letter Q. What animal starts with the letter quail? I guess we could do quail facts. You know what's funny? I don't think I've done a single bird on this entire list. We did bats, which bats are a mammal, not a bird. They can fly, but I don't think we've done a single bird. Maybe we should do quail facts. Next one will be quail facts. Yeah, let's talk about burbs. All right, thanks for watching, everybody. Garp the Fist, more power to you. Good luck to you. And Chuck Norris just laying waste to the Hachinosu. See you, everybody. Tekking signing out. Happy New Year.